everyone, it's Kim. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a product review. Cosori was nice enough to send me one of their pressure cookers, and they asked me to run it through a few tests, make some things that I like to make in my other pressure cooker, and then give the review as to what I think about their product. So I've got a couple recipes in mind. I'm going to make at least two things that I know that I make all the time, because I want to do the comparison as to how well this performs versus the other pressure cooker that I have. I do want to say that taking a look at the function buttons, I'm kind of excited. I see a brown rice button here. It's here. So there's a brown rice button on here, and you know I struggle with making brown rice. I always pull out my rice cooker when I'm making my brown rice because I just cannot get the knack of making it. I can't get the water to rice ratio down pat. So I'm probably not going to try that here. I'm going to definitely try it later. But I wanted to, again, just kind of come on here, say thank you, Cosori, for reaching out to me to test this product. I'm super excited to make this new recipe that I have. Also, I'm also excited to remake a couple of recipes that I was going to make anyway. So it's good that I got the opportunity to make that in this new pressure cooker. So with that said, stay tuned, and I will come back at you after I make the recipes and let you know my final thoughts. Okay, the first recipe that I'm going to test out in my new Cosori multi-cooking pressure cooker. I'm telling you, I'll get this down pat before the end of the video. But the first thing I'm going to cook is some strawberry jam. Now, I had found this recipe on Six Sister Stuff, so I'm pretty excited to give it a try. Now, you know that I do Weight Watchers, so I did change the recipe up just a bit, and instead of using sugar, I'm going to use Truvia. And that's going to cut it down from 6 points down to only 3 points. And once we spread out the points over the entire recipe, I really don't think it's I think it's gonna come out to be 0 points. It only calls for 1 ounce of orange juice. I have not calculated that yet, but I will calculate the points, and I'll put it here for the servings. So I'm going to move you over closer to our pot, and we're going to put everything together. Okay, so what we have is I went ahead and cut the tops off the strawberries and cut these in half. So we have 1 pound of strawberries. So I'm just going to dump those right in. And one of the tips that they had given was to make sure that the strawberries were touching the bottom. So I'm just going to make sure and spread those around. Okay, so the next thing we're going to add in is the 1/8 of a cup of that Truvia. We're just going to spread that all around. And then 1 ounce of orange juice. And I am using the Trop 50 orange juice because of the fact, again, I'm trying to make sure the points are low on this. So that's it. Normally we would put in water, but this is only going to cook for 1 minute at high pressure. And then what we're going to do from there is we're going to let that do a natural release for 15 minutes. And once that's done, I will come back at you and show you the final product. Okay, it's now been 15 minutes, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn the pot to venting. Although the pin has dropped, I still wanna make sure that I'm safe, and I turn it to venting just in case there's any steam built up there. And there is not, so we're good. So I'm going to move this just a little closer, and then I'm gonna pull the top off so we can see what we have. All right. So you can see that when they said it was going to make more juice, it definitely made more juice because I only had that 1 ounce in there. But the good thing is that we're going to grab my immersion blender. I'm going to unplug this. The corner I'm working in today doesn't have a ton of plugs that aren't being utilized. I guess I need to figure out what I have plugged in over here. All right, so I have my immersion blender, and I'm just going to go ahead and start to blend this. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and let that cool down, and then I will put that into a container. Now you can freeze this if you want a thicker, firmer jam, or you can just put it in the refrigerator. It'll thicken up on its own, and you can go ahead and use that, and it'll stay good in your fridge for up to a week. So again, I am super excited. This is going to be delicious, and I'm happy that this turned out so well in my new Cosori pressure cooker. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead again and wait for this to cool down, and then I will come back at you with my final test. I have made this in my other pressure cookers, and when I opened up this Cosori pot, I was very excited because of the fact that it did have the yogurt function. I wasn't sure if it was going to have that or not. And if you have not made yogurt, you should give this a try. This is probably the easiest method that you'll ever find. And it's a cold start method. And it just calls for these two ingredients. You have a container of Fairlife ultra filtered milk, and then what I have here is a Light and Fit original Greek yogurt. And when you make yogurt, you need to make sure that it has this symbol here. Hopefully you can see that. And it says the live and active cultures. So you need to make sure that whatever yogurt you're using for your starter has the active live cultures. So this is so simple, it just takes a while to do. So what you're going to do is you're going to pour in your entire container of milk, and again you need to have the ultra filtered milk, and this Fairlife brand works beautifully. So we're just going to go ahead and pour that in. It calls for 1 to 2 tablespoons of the yogurt. I sometimes just want to use the entire container so that it's fine. So what I do is I just put the entire container in and then whisk that into my milk. I do this because of the fact that I might as well just use the entire thing because I'm really not going to eat this today, and then I'm not wasting the yogurt. So we're going to just go ahead and give that a quick stir inside the pot. And right now it just looks like milk. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our lid on. We're going to hit the cancel button just in case it had anything on it. We're going to go ahead and hit the yogurt button and start. And you can see that the timer is set for 8 hours. So at this point, it doesn't matter if your knob is on venting or sealing because it's really not going to come to pressure. It's just going to go to a certain temperature and then do I think they call it an incubation mode. So it's just going to sit there for 8 hours. So in 8 hours, we're going to come back, we're going to take a look at it and see what we have. Now, the really good thing about making your own yogurt is that if you like yogurt, but you really don't like that tanginess of it, this yogurt's for you. So we're going to wait, see what happens, and go from there. So stay tuned. So it's been 8 hours. Let's take a look and see what we have. So I'm gonna open up our Cosori Premium 6-quart pressure cooker. That is the official name. I told you I'd get it by the end of the video. So we're gonna open up our pressure cooker and we're gonna give it the spoon test. So here we go. All right, so if our yogurt did what it's supposed to do, I can stick a spoon in it and it will stand straight up. So here we go. And voila, we have yogurt. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to, you see that it's a little creamy, there's a little bit of liquid on the top. Now I like my yogurt just a little thicker. So I like mine to be just thicker, as far as it's almost like a Greek yogurt, I guess you'd want to call it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put this into my strainer and I'm going to set this aside and just show you, if you've not seen the strainers that they use, this is the one that I have. And I just picked this up on Amazon. It works wonderfully. I bet you I've used it 4 or 5 times. So I've used it for yogurt, I've used it for a couple of other things, but again, it works great. If you're looking for a way to strain your yogurt easily, this is your ticket here. Okay, and for our final test, I wanted to go ahead and try out, let's see, that's right, you guessed it, boiled eggs. This is one of the things that I make all the time in my other pressure cooker. So we're gonna go ahead and hit manual. We're going to hit cook time. We're gonna adjust that down to 5 minutes. And then we're gonna put our lid on. I was getting a little ahead of myself there, wasn't I? See that? One hand. And then I'm gonna hit start. So I have 6 eggs in there, and then I also put in approximately a little over a cup of water. So I just put that in my normal steamer basket that you've seen me use time and time again. And we're gonna let this go and see what happens. Again, I'm using, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, I'm using the 5-5-5 method for my eggs. We're gonna cook that at high pressure for 5 minutes. We're going to let that do a natural release for 5 minutes. We'll let the steam off, and then we will dump it into an ice bath, and then I will show you the final egg. I'll peel one and cut it in half and show you what it looks like, so stay tuned. Okay, and for our results, here we go. Just gonna cut this boiled egg in half, and voila. Perfect. Let's take a look at that. Those are absolutely perfect. Okay, final thoughts. I'm very pleased with the performance of the Cosori pressure cooker. I'm very happy with the way that the things turned out that I tried. The jam was wonderful. The yogurt was just like my other yogurt. I don't know why I expected it to perform differently. I was super excited to see that it had the yogurt button. And I knew that that was just one of the things that I had to try. Just to make sure that, you know, that it made the yogurt like I'm used to. I am very excited to try out some of the other function buttons. As you know, I use that manual button a lot. But with this one, I think it's got a few more options on it, so I'm gonna give those a try. So my final review of the Cosori pressure cooker, thumbs up. I think it did very well. I'm very happy with it, and again, I can't wait to try more stuff with it. So thank you, Cosori, for allowing me to review your pressure cooker. Thank you for putting out such a good product. And I think that's about it. I think that's all I want to say. I think it does well. It really does well, and I can't wait to try more stuff in it. So I'm gonna sign off from here, and thank you for watching. Thank you, Cosori, and have a great day. Bye.